This week on MacGyver the Lizard.
Everyone always wants to know if I think Tegus make good pets and if I would recommend them to anybody. And it's difficult to answer that question in a 255 character comment, so I thought I would make a little video and talk about that. Hey MacGyver man, how you doing? You hungry? You hungry? You want some food? Yeah, he loves this salmon. So I do think they make excellent pets, but not for everybody, and that's important because if you get a Tegu and you don't know what you're getting yourself into, it's gonna not be very good for you, and it's gonna be even worse for the Tegu. So they make excellent pets because they're really smart, but in order to take advantage of all that intelligence, you need to spend time with them so that they learn. So they learn about you, and otherwise all that intelligence is just going to teach them how to be defensive and properly be scared of you. So you need to be able to spend time with them. Here, you want some more? Yeah. And it's best if you do that as much as possible when they are as young as possible, because you'll find that it's a lot easier to handle them when they are tame and obedient. We got MacGyver when he was only about a month old. Wow, that piece did not fit how I was planning. Sorry dude, he'll figure it out. So we got Mac when he was about a month old. He was really small then. He was like 11 inches long and something like 30 to 45-ish grams. I think, I don't remember. I didn't weigh him much back then. But now, 9 months later, he is huge. He's 4 feet long now and 12.5 pounds. So, and that's mostly muscle. So he's a strong little guy. And if he wasn't obedient, he would probably be difficult to handle. And so one of the other things is that, here, you smell that fish on my fingers? Smell that fish on my finger as I was handling all that? Come on. You smell that? Yeah, that's fish smell. One of the other things is that we feed him by hand all the time. And you'll get a couple opposing viewpoints on hand feeding. Some people will say that you should never hand feed them because then they associate your hand with food. And that is true because they are very smart. But if you hand feed them all the time and you spend lots of time with them not just feeding, then they will associate your hand with food, but they will also associate it with other things. And even when my hand smells like food a little bit, I know most people who have Tegus think I'm crazy right now because I got a fish covered hand. I'm sticking it in his face. He's actually less interested than he normally is. Normally he'll lick it a little bit and he'll be confused, like, should I bite this? Should I not bite this? But he won't bite me. But right now he's just totally ignoring it. Come on. You smell that fish on me? But so the point is that if he was not friendly, if he didn't know this was my hand, then he would probably be biting me right now, and that would not be fun because he's huge and he has a very big mouth, and I think his mouth is big enough that he could almost swallow my hand, like if he wanted to. But obviously he is not a hand swallower. And he's not full grown yet either, so he's pretty close now. He's like I said, 4 feet and about 12.5 pounds. But he will probably put on another 6 inches or so, so he'll probably end up being about 4.5 feet. And I'm not sure what his final weight is going to be, but it's probably going to be in the 15 to 20 pounds area. So that's big. Like, it's if you're thinking about getting a pet Tegu, just realize that it's going to be kind of like getting a 20-pound dog, that size. You need to be able to pick him up and stuff, and if he's bigger than you are, then that's going to be difficult. So there are some other kinds of tegus that get even bigger. The black and whites are, I think, typically about, on average, about the same size as the reds, but there are some locales that get significantly bigger, like the Chicoans, and they can get up to like 5.5 feet, I think, and up to like 30-something-ish pounds. So I'm going to show you in a second a clip of somebody else's even larger tegu, so that if you're thinking about getting one, you can see what you're probably going to have in a couple years, depending on what kind of tegu you're getting yourself.
So this is Ugar. He's my extreme tegu, and he's 58 inches long and 28.5 pounds. He is 3 years old. He is a big boy. Just figured I would do kind of a little of an update video on him.
Okay, so now you know how big they get and how much time they take. What else? What else do I mean by not for everybody? He does this cute little flying man position, we call it, where he puts his arms back. Let me give him a little spray down. Yeah, he loves that. So what do I mean by not for everybody? Well, in addition to the whole size thing, I wouldn't recommend them to anybody for a first pet reptile. And the reason for that is that reptiles have very specific care requirements that are unlike that of birds and mammals and other pets. They need very specific types of light, specific heat, humidity requirements, things of that nature. And the bigger the lizard, the more difficult it is to maintain those things. So if you're dead set on getting a lizard but you've got no reptile experience, I would highly recommend you look into something more manageable like a bearded dragon. And I also wouldn't recommend them to people that already have huge reptile collections, generally. Just going back to the whole time requirement thing. They're very interactive animals, and it's going to be hard to manage your time. And if you want to get the same kind of relationship with them that we have with Mac, that's going to be difficult. So I also wouldn't recommend them to kids. And the reason for that is that they can be expensive. There can be unforeseen expenses also if something goes wrong. Thankfully we haven't had any issues with Mac, but if you need to find an exotic reptile vet in order to take care of an impaction issue with your 30-pound lizard, then that's a not friendly bill that you're going to have to pay, or your parents are going to have to pay, or nobody's going to be able to pay, which is going to be even worse for the lizard. So the other thing is that if you do know what you're doing and you're lucky, then they can live a long time. They can live up to like 20 years. So if you've got no idea where you're going to be in 5 years, then you've got no idea where your tegu is going to be in 5 years. So that's probably not the best time for you to be thinking about getting a huge lizard that lives for 20 years. And finally, I would like to give credit to Jake Scott Herps for inspiring this video with his latest round of keeping large reptiles and reptiles that make good pets, which I will put links to right here and right here. And also, I would like to say thank you to everybody who watches MacGyver's videos. And very big, specific thank yous to all of you guys who share MacGyver's videos and like them. And big shout outs to and thanks to those of you who have YouTube channels who have put MacGyver in your guys' other channels boxes. So a big thank you to Tegu Buzz, Sid's Reptiles and Pets, Jake's Got Herps again, Repidemic, and I'm sure I'm missing a bunch of you guys, but thank you to everybody. Thank you from Mac. Right, Mac? Say thank you. Say thank you, Mac. Okay, say bye-bye, Mac. Bye-bye, Mac. Yeah, good boy. Okay, you want to bask? I'll leave you alone. I'll leave you alone. I'll leave you alone. You're so cute. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.